Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another one of my tutorial videos. This one I'm going to explain how to use this file here to create your own custom lightbox skin for the 50k add-ons lightbox. This file here is available from Roadside Studios. Roadside Studios are on Discord. I will show you just now. Where are we? Roadside Studios. Truck templates, and it is up. There we are. Scania Lightbox 50k add-ons. That is where it's available to download from. I've downloaded it already. And it is here on my desktop. So we will open it up with our this is WinRAR or 7-zip you can use. So we open it up. Inside there are some files. PSD, these two PSDs are for Paint Shop. No, Photoshop, sorry. Adobe Photoshop. You can open these, but you'd need to convert them first. And there is a README there with instructions on how to do it a slightly different way. This is the way that I'm going to do it. So we've opened the Scania Lightbox 50k add-ons, and then we're going to open mod files. And again, we're going to go into Universal. Now, these files are what you need to create a mod file, a zip or a .scs. The easiest way of doing it, for me anyway, is I will take these out, just these. So I will create a new folder. I'll call this Lightbox. And in this folder, we're going to transfer these. Now I'm done with that. I can close this all together. And these are the files that I will use to create the Lightbox mod. In here is that is your mod icon, so it will look like that in your mod manager. It does say Volvo Lightbox, but it's just an image, so ignore that. This is for the 50k Lightbox for Scania. Mod manifest is the .sii file, so that all the details are in here. Display name, so there's the display name there, 50k Scania Lightbox. This is created by Pete, a great guy. You can go in and you could change that, and that would change the name, so it would appear differently in your mod manager. You know, if you wanted to rename things, so if you had a different company name, or just to name the lightbox itself, you would just rename that in there and then save it. But the important files that we are after are in this folder, the vehicle folder. Truck, upgrade, 50k add-ons, and we have two image files, two files here. These are both .dds files. So one is for the next gen lightbox. There's one big and one small. We'll open this one. And you'll notice that when I open it, it's very transparent. It's not very clear. This is because of the lighting and how the lightbox lights up. If this image is completely opaque, which I will do just now, so adjustments, where is it? Transparency. This is a plugin that you'll probably need. So we have transparent and opaque. So notice if I make this fully opaque, this completely changes. So what you want to do is when you're skinning, you want to make it completely opaque, and you can paint over that, and then when you're finished, you then need to go back and make it fairly transparent. And you'll notice once it's on the truck, it'll look just about right when it's transparent. If it's fully opaque, it'll be incredibly bright in the game, and it'll be very difficult to actually see what's on it. So there is this one here, which is the next gen, the flat plate light box, and then this one here is the one that will fit the RJL scanner. And you can see there where I turned the transparency, the opacity all the way up, that's how it looks. So in terms of skinning these, which one will we do? We'll do this one first. It's important to remember to keep this exactly the same size. If the size is incorrect, it'll not work in the game. So as with anything when you're skinning, you want to keep this as it is, because that is technically speaking your template, which you can get rid of at the end, but this gives you an idea of the space that you're working on, which is this blue bit here is obviously the shape of the light box. So in terms of designs, or I don't know what I would do here, but we could do a base color. What will we do? Could do a red base color, and then I'll fill that. So this is layer 2, and we'll fill that. No, that's very bright, isn't it? Go a bit darker. Okay. That layer is still there underneath, so if I remove that just now, we've still got this template layer underneath. As for text, we'll create a new layer, so we're not doing the red layer, we'll do this one. What will we do here? We could do white and make it a little bit more towards cream. And then we use our text tool to select text, and then up at the top left, on the top toolbar here, we have our fonts, all our different fonts. I quite like the Coca-Cola. Where's Coca-Cola? I quite like that one. And then our font size. But you can start typing. So we'll do Richmond. I've not closed that box yet, so you can adjust that around, and you can also adjust the size as well. So we'll go, that was 35, we'll do 80. 100. That's quite good. I like that. I like that. So I'm going to try something. I'll do Richmond there. Do it there. And then escape. And then we'll do another text box here. We'll make this one a bit smaller. And then we'll do logistics. We'll do 50. And I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. Move selection, so we'll change that selection a bit. And then drag this out a little bit. This is just an example, it doesn't have to be exact. So we've got our white there, Richmond Logistics, and they can then bring the red layer in, and we've got that. We could delete this background layer, but because you can't see any of it here, you could just flatten the image as it is. I'll take it out anyway. Makes no difference. Image, flatten. And this is the important thing. Once you have flattened the image, so you then only have one layer there, you want to go to File and Save. You don't want to save as, you don't want to change the name at all, because it has to be that name. lbox underscore plate underscore sign. Oh, I'm forgetting one important thing. I am forgetting transparency. Like I said before, if I leave this there, as it is, that'll be really bright. And what I could do is, I could probably copy and paste this into the other one. So I will do Control A to select all of this, and then Control C to copy. We then change over to the other file. We want to create a new layer, and then we will paste Control and V. Now this is the important bit to notice. So what we have copied from that side, that file, is larger than what we have here. If I expand the canvas, then that is going to change the size of this canvas, and then that light box skin isn't going to work. We need to keep the canvas size the same. It's very important to keep the canvas size. So when I do that, it will paste, and this will be a lot larger. That is still the canvas size there, just this bit here. So as we bring this in, you can still see the canvas is the same size. And again, if I hold Shift, we can keep the ratios the same to layer it up, size it up, and then in terms of adjusting where it goes, if we double click on this layer and turn down the opacity, we can now see the 50k sign behind. So it layer it up on top like that. So and that will go probably round about there. Now that it's in the right position, I'll turn this up and I will fill the rest of this in the same color. So I will use the color sampling tool and left click. So I can now create a new layer, and this will all disappear because this solid red layer is above this layer here. Now if I switch these over, that design then comes to the top and we have our solid red background underneath. Now just to show you the difference, what I'm going to do is I will leave one of these as it is. So I'll leave this one fully opaque, and I will flatten this image, and then I will turn down the transparency. I don't know if that's the correct term, but I'm going to make it transparent so we can just see it, and then that'll give you a comparison between the two of them and how they look. So we've got the transparent one, lbox underscore sign. We're going to save that, and we're going to save this one. I think I've saved it already, and close. Now if I go in and reopen these, you have the transparent one, and we have the fully opaque. Now if I go back to into this folder here, these are the files that make up the mod. So if I select all of these and right click, there's an option there, add to archive. So it's just these, the vehicle folder, description, manifest, and the sample image. Add to archive. It's important to change the format of this, so there's RAR, RAR4, and ZIP. needs to be in zip format or the game won't recognize it. Has to be .zip. And now we will change this to Richmond Lightbox. And then OK. And there we have our Richmond Lightbox. So just to show you that it looks the same, if we double click on Richmond Lightbox, there it is laid out how it should be. Vehicle description, manifest. I could actually, what I might do, go into double click into manifest, and instead of 50k Scania Lightbox, we'll rename this one to 50k Richmond Lightbox, just so that it makes it easier to identify in our mod manager. So you save that, and then it'll ask you, file manifest.sii was modified. Do you wish to update it in the archive? Yes, we do. And once you save it, it'll create this backup. You can delete it, it's not necessary. We'll leave it in, it doesn't do anything. So I will close that, and there we have our Richmond Lightbox. So I will pop that into our mod folder, and then we will have a look at it in game.